Hi, I'm Holly Hutchings. Welcome to my sewing school. The first project that we're going to do is a square, a simple square. I'm going to teach you how to cut out pattern pieces, stitch straight lines, follow seam allowances, learn how to pivot, basic pressing, decoration stitches, and a hand stitch. So you're going to learn all 7 of those skills on this basic sewing project. And after we complete this sewing project, you'll get to choose a square and you'll get to incorporate several of the skills that you've learned on your second project. So you'll complete a hot pad, which is the first project that will be a basic square, and then you'll get to choose a basic square which will incorporate some of the skills in some of the other projects. So the first thing that you need is you're going to get a paper that looks like this. It has an 11-inch square, a 10-inch square, a 9-inch square, an 8-inch, 7-inch, 6-inch, and 5-inch. The one that we're going to use for the hot pad is the 8-inch square, and so you're going to cut along the 8-inch square line to get your pattern piece. And I've already done that, so I have this 8-inch square ready right here. So I actually, for my hot pad, I need 2 different colors. Usually for a hot pad you'd want a contrasting color, but you don't have to. And I'm going to lay this out. It is important the way you lay your pattern piece out, the direction, because if I lay it out crooked, then I'm going to get funky lines and funky shaping. So I'm going to use this edge right here. This is called my selvage edge, and I'm going to use that edge to line up my pattern piece. I'm going to line up the edge of my fabric with the edge of my selvage, but I don't want to do it against the white because I don't want this white part in my hot pad. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pin it on. So the first thing that you need to do when you're using a pattern is you're going to pin your pattern pieces on. Figure out where you want to pin them and then pin them on. And then you just, after you get them pinned on smoothly, then you're going to cut out around the pattern shape. So the purpose of the pattern piece is to give you the shape of the piece that you need. So I'm going to cut out one out of this color, and then I'm going to cut another one out of a maroon. So I'm going to take just my regular scissors, my regular fabric scissors. Now, when you cut with fabric scissors, never use your fabric scissors to cut paper, and never use your paper scissors to try to cut fabric, because you'll find that it's pretty dull and it doesn't work very well. So I'm going to just cut out an 8-inch square. Now, one thing that you're going to notice, you might not notice, but I'm going to point out, is that if you cut with your pattern piece on the outside of your hand, it's a little easier to get a straight line. So when you guys are cutting, you can test that out. So I like to cut with the pattern piece on the outside of my hand, just because I can put the tension on this side and then I get a straighter edge. Cutting out is very important, getting straight lines so that your pattern piece, because when you start sewing on with the sewing machine, you're going to line up your pattern piece edges to the seam allowance guides, and if your edges I have just the printed version, and then the solid color, and those are going to go together. This will be the front and this will be the back of the hot pad. Now what I need for the inside of the hot pad is I need 2 layers of batting. So I'm going to use this stuff to layer the inside, and I need a square that's a little bit smaller than the one I cut out. So I'm going to use my paper scissors to cut. And this has already been cut once, so I'm just cutting the tape. So I'm going to use the 7-inch square to cut the batting. So I need 2 layers of batting. So I'm just going to pin this down the same way I did to my fabric, right on the edge. The batting can be a little bit smaller than the pattern piece. It doesn't have to be exact, but you don't want to go too much, too small, or it will mess your shaping up. So you want it to kind of have, it needs to have the same shape as the square. Okay, so now I'm just going to take and cut. Make sure you use your fabric scissors to cut the fabric part. So so don't get confused. But if you use your paper scissors or your fabric scissors on paper, it will dull them. That's why it's really important.